Hello and welcome. This explainer is from Chapter 2 of this tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC. Today, we're diving into a huge question for every company out there. How do you actually secure your organization against AI risks? Now, I know the first impulse is to jump right into training your team, but that's kind of like trying to build a house without a blueprint. So today, we're going to lay the essential groundwork that absolutely has to happen first.
AI adoption is absolutely exploding. It's weaving itself into, well, pretty much every part of business. But all that speed and scale brings a massive and often totally invisible layer of risk. And this isn't some problem for the future. It's happening right now inside the walls of most companies. Let's look at a few numbers to see just how big this challenge is.
It all starts with a huge gap. A staggering 73% of organizations have no formal AI usage policies whatsoever. Think about that. It creates a total Wild West environment where employees are using these incredibly powerful tools with zero guardrails, no rules, and a ton of unmanaged risk. And in that chaotic Wild West, 61% of employees admit they're using unauthorized AI tools. This is what the source material calls shadow AI. And what this really means is that companies are flying blind. They have no idea where their most sensitive data is going because you can't protect what you can't even see. You know, this isn't just a tech problem either. Consider this. 45% of all security incidents already involve some form of human error. So what happens when you introduce these powerful, unregulated AI tools into that mix? You're basically pouring gasoline on an already existing fire. Technology alone can't fix this. And if you think this is a problem now, just wait. A whopping 82% of organizations are planning to increase their investment in AI. That means more tools, more users, and way more potential points of failure. The problem isn't getting smaller, it's scaling up, and it's scaling up fast. It feels pretty overwhelming, right? You've got all these interconnected risks piling up, one on top of the other. So where on earth do you even start? That's the critical question, and the rest of this explainer is dedicated to giving you a clear, structured answer. Let's get into it. Okay, the very first step is simple. You have to get the lay of the land. Before you can draw up any kind of plan, you have to survey the terrain. For a company, this means you need to do a comprehensive organizational scan to map out exactly what's happening with AI inside your own walls. This scan is all about discovery. You need to create a complete inventory of every single AI tool being used. And yeah, that includes the official, company-sanctioned systems. But the most critical part, the real hidden danger, is uncovering that shadow AI. All those tools IT has no idea about, but your employees are using every single day. Those are your biggest blind spots. Now, this scan isn't just some abstract exercise. It produces real, tangible, foundational documents. You walk away with an AI inventory, your master list. You get a governance assessment, which highlights all your policy gaps. And you get a change readiness evaluation, which tells you if your company culture is even prepared for this. These become the bedrock for your entire strategy. Okay, so you've surveyed the ground and you know what's out there. The next phase is to actually draw the blueprint. This is where you establish the formal structure and the clear boundaries for your assessment project to make sure it actually succeeds. Building that structure takes a few key actions. You need a steering committee with people from IT, HR, legal, and key business units to get real buy-in. You have to define exactly who is responsible for what, so nothing important falls through the cracks. Clear communication rules and, maybe most importantly, a realistic timeline are absolutely essential to prevent the project from just fizzling out. A huge risk you have to avoid here is mission creep. It's like the silent killer of projects like this. It's when the scope just slowly expands and expands until the project becomes totally unmanageable, goes way over budget, and never actually gets finished. Setting firm boundaries right from the get-go is the only way to stop this from happening. And to prevent that creep, you've got to answer these tough questions up front. Are we looking at the entire company or just starting with a high-risk department like finance? Are contractors in scope? Deciding all this before you start is what keeps the project focused, manageable, and ultimately successful. Let's go back to our blueprint metaphor. You've surveyed the land and you've drawn up the plans. Now, before you start construction, you have to check your toolkit. Do you have the right tools, the right materials, and the right culture? For us, this means assessing your organization's readiness for change. So what is organizational readiness? Well, it's not just about having the latest technology. It's a much deeper look into your company's actual capacity for change. Are your people culturally resistant? What's the baseline level of AI knowledge? Answering these questions tells you just how difficult this journey is really going to be. And the results of this assessment are vital because they determine your starting point. For instance, a company with low readiness can't just jump into advanced security training. They have to start with the absolute basics of AI literacy first. A high readiness organization, on the other hand, can move way faster. You have to tailor your approach to where your company is today.
So we've walked through the scan, the governance, and the readiness assessment. Let's pull it all together and talk about the payoff. Why is all this foundational work so incredibly important?
You know, this quote from the source material really just says it all. If you skip this prep work, your training is going to be flawed. You'll either miss the real risks, you'll teach people things they don't need to know, or you'll create a one-size-fits-all program that doesn't actually fit anyone. You'd just be guessing. And that's a dangerous game to play.
Ultimately, this is the real benefit. Investing the time and effort to build this blueprint ensures that the training program you eventually create is strategic. It's targeted directly at your company's actual risks and its unique readiness level. It means your resources are spent effectively, not just wasted on some reactive program that completely misses the mark.
And that brings us to our final thought. As AI continues to reshape the entire business world, just take a moment to ask yourself this. Is your organization's AI strategy being built on a solid foundation of understanding, governance, and readiness? Or are you just kind of hoping for the best? Because in the world of AI security, hope is not a strategy.